everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ane's Food Show. I hope you enjoy the shows as much as I have fun making them for you. Today on our program, we're working with chicken, mushrooms, and another surprise ingredient. So mushrooms are fungus, they're healthy, they have so much health aspects to it. And actually, one of my favorite health aspect about mushroom is that it reduces aging. So if you wanted to look younger, you can start consuming mushrooms. But today we're going to look at a dish, how we can use mushrooms in chicken, and another surprise ingredient. And then we'll have a side salad. And stay tuned, don't go very far, get yourself a cup of tea or coffee, a notepad and pen, as we continue right on. Stay tuned.
Anna's Food Show, your favorite food and lifestyle show. The assurance for your well-being.
Welcome back. We're about to get into making this dish, which is actually very simple to do. It's just that the flavor combinations are really exotic in a sense, and but yet they are very simple to do. Like I mentioned earlier, we're working with mushrooms. What I have here are oyster mushrooms, and these are homegrown. These were not harvested in a farm per se, but it's a homegrown type of mushrooms, which is now common. It's a common practice now. And if you really want to get into knowing how you can grow mushrooms, please get in touch with me and I will connect you. I don't do it myself, but I can connect you to somebody that can help you out. Now, mushrooms are really high in fiber. They're high in some vitamins that you may not actually get from beef. Actually, they're high in protein as well. And then, you know, they've got immune boosting vitamins, which is where the aging retrogression comes into play, meaning that slowing the aging process. So if you really want to stay young, eat mushrooms. In essence, if you suffer from gastritis, then mushrooms is a good food to eat that will help with ulcers, stomach ulcers. So these are dried. Now to use them, I've just used a handful, soaked it in water, and yeah, you see how thick it is? It's almost like what do you call kanda. It's kind of thick and soft. It's good to rehydrate the mushroom before you put it into your dish, else it would end up being very tough. So you can just cut it into, just tear it apart, or you can use a knife to slice it. Tearing it apart also works very well. So we'll just keep it to continue. See, this is the shape. So sort of like a trumpet lily flower, like an oyster, and that's why they're called oyster mushrooms. So we'll just get this now to continue hydrating while we get onto the next aspect of this recipe. Okay, we'll begin this recipe by sauteing our onions. And to do that, you just get the fire going, or you know, you light your fire, as you want to say. And we get about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil in the bottom of your pan. Give it a nice good swirl so it coats the bottom of your pan very well. Then we add our onions. This is just about 1 or 2 onions sliced, or you can chop them if you will, but these are sliced onions. Gives more character to the dish. We like food with character. You know, people with character always light up the place. People with character always light up a party. So food with character also lights up your world. So we get that sauteing. And while that is going on, we're going to actually use coconut in this recipe as well. And I have 2 forms here. I have a shredded coconut. This one you just put in a grater and grate the coconut. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook this coconut to get that coconut milk type. And then, as I love coconut, eating it whole, you may just leave the chaff in there or do it separate. Then I have coconut that is shredded. I have not shredded, but sort of like sliced or shaved, it's more like it. And to do this shaving, you just have this is a piece of coconut here, and you just sort of using it. This is a very sharp knife. If you use like a big knife, like the knife I usually chop with, it will not go very well. So you just need a small, sharp knife, and you just position your hand well, and you just have to be careful not to hurt yourself, and you just sort of curve into it, and you just shave the coconut. That would give it a nice bite-sized pieces, and it may be chewy, but it would absorb easily all the flavors that you're going to put into this dish. Okay. So that's our coconut. Reduce the heat here a little bit. Okay, to get the coconut, the shredded coconut ready for this dish, I'm going to soak it in hot water and do some squeezing or extract the coconut juice out of it, and then we'll use it in this dish. So stay tuned.
Anna's Food Show, your favorite food and lifestyle show. The assurance for your well-being.
Okay, to get the coconut prepared, I'm already in the process of heating this water, and we have about 2 cups of shredded coconut here, and we're just going to boil it, bring it to a boil. I'm just going to use all of this, the more coconut the merrier. And you know how you do prepare coconut if you're going to make coconut rice using the water. You just boil it, you let it sit in it, and it extracts the milk from it. So we're going to use this in our dish to cook the chicken. Excuse me. So I'm just going to turn that low and let it continue to simmer, and then we'll sieve it just before we put it in. And so as our onions are getting cooked in here, we'll just go ahead and add about a tablespoon of teaspoon, not tablespoon. Tablespoon will be far too much. So just have a teaspoon of white pepper and a teaspoon also of bush pepper. So not your typical black pepper. Now, just so it doesn't burn too much, we're going to add our chicken. Turn up the heat and add our chicken, or the gizzard and all. Make sure we have the gizzard in there. Now, when you're toasting your spices, like I just put the bush pepper in there, it has a really unique, aroma, and I can begin to smell it already. And so just kind of brown the chicken. I'll just let it brown. And as it's browning, the spice flavors are also being infused into the chicken. Okay. In the meantime, our coconut over here is bubbling rather well. And I'll just take that, turn it off, and just let it sit in the hot water until we're ready to use it. So I'll just go ahead now and flip over our chicken. So just flip our chicken pieces over, just so that both sides get a good brown flavor, brown color. And you know, this browning process does add to the flavor of the dish as well. Now to add to this, now we will add the mushrooms. Get the mushrooms going. So we'll just cut them into just a little bit into finer pieces. And we'll add it right there. All right. We'll now get the coconut water. I'll just use some paper towels here to hold my hot pan. And just do like this. And just sieve the coconut. You can begin to smell the coconut already. You just do that. Press it down to get as much liquid as you can out of there. And I know some of you women are very daring and would like actually squeeze this by hand, but we'll not do that now. We'll not try that. And then we'll just pour that coconut milk over. Into the dish. Water brings silence. So it's been sizzling and it's just going to continue to cook. There we go. So it's a very simple dish, a little bit complicated in the sense that to get the coconut chaffs ready or the coconut milk ready to go into it, and then we just put the coconut, the shredded coconut, into it like so. That's about right enough. And there you go. That is all. No, I've forgotten one ingredient, salt. And we'll add about 2 teaspoons of salt into this. The mushrooms would absorb it, the chicken would absorb it, and at the end of the day, it will be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful dish. So don't go far. I'm just going to put the lid on and just let the chicken cook, and we'll come back for some tasting. Don't go away.
Anna's Food Show, your favorite food and lifestyle show. The assurance for your well-being.
Welcome back. We have our chicken cooking, and so I'm going to go ahead and prepare a small salad. We're going to be serving the chicken with boiled plantains, but it's always nice to have a balance, and so as our vegetable component is going to come from our salad. I'm starting here. It's a very simple salad. I'm just going to do some, so I'm kind of going to chop things up, meaning cut them small. I know we like to see our salads in specific kinds of ways, but this is not one of those. So like I've just made tomato diced and tomato chunks. Yes, that's a salad type. Nice tomatoes washed. Some say tomatoes, some say tomatoes. Either way, it's this. And if it's too seedy and too juicy, you just want to reduce that, but that's what makes the tomato a great tasting one. Like so, and that's all about our tomatoes. Then we'll use some carrots. How we're going to do this? We're also going to chop it. I know most often we like to grate our carrots, but after we've washed it well, just using a carrot peeler, a vegetable peeler, or if you like to peel it by hand, that's your preference. You just peel off the skin I would not recommend eating it with the skin because, you know, it's grown in the ground. Even though we've really washed it, but it's good to take off the skin. You're not losing anything nutritionally by taking off the skin. Okay. Set that aside and just clean up our mess. So instead of shredding our carrots, we're going to dice it also. So just to cut it like this, so make nice julienne dices or slices. Just cut it into strips like that, stack it, cut it again across, and then you dice it. That's all there is to it. There you go. Everything must not be a long process. If you use your brain wisely, you can be very fast in the kitchen. So here we go again. We just cut strips down. And this side is already flat, so you turn it over. And then you cut across, like so. And you cut. And there you have your diced carrots. To it. And to this, we're going to add basil or conmanju. We'll add basil. Just about 3 leaves, 4 leaves here, 5 leaves, just a little bit of bunch here. And I'm just going to slice it. So I know most often we use this only for our soups and stews and all whatnot as part of green spices, but we're going to use it like this, and this combination actually is very good. Then we're going to use some pear that's scooped out. Just use another knife and just run a slit through. Be careful the knife doesn't come off on the other side, so we just run a slit through. Get that off. And then you cut across, and then using a spoon, you just scoop it out so it's not a messy affair. Ooh, messy affairs can be quite messy. So, but you scoop it out with a spoon, it's not messy at all. And it's good. So again, we run a knife through, run across, and we scoop. How easy is that? These are just some small cooking tips to show you in doing such a salad. It's just how you can do things fast and in an efficient manner. So sometimes you could come home and you want to serve a salad and it's like, no, you don't have cabbage, you don't have lettuce, you don't have this, you don't have that. Use whatever you have handy and you can still make it off with a very beautiful salad. So now what else we're going to add to this? Now as I'm doing this, if you have a dressing at home, you can always just do it. So you say, oh, I don't have mayonnaise, I don't have this, I don't have that, I cannot dress it. Well, here is a simple and efficient way to dress your salad. Even if you don't have an orange, you can use vinegar. So just a small orange, I'm going to squeeze it in, squeeze the orange juice right in, and that is our acid component. And I'm just going to do, you know, dressings usually are oil and vinegar based. So I'm just going to squeeze the orange in here. It's just going to give it more character. Ah, there we go. It's not, this is, there's juice in it, but it's not coming out really easily. Then just a little bit of salt. Salt brings out flavor. Just a, well, it's not even up to a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A little bit of black pepper. Makes it tastier. And thyme, but I'm just gonna pick up the thyme with my hands and just run it through because the pine leaves can be just a little bit chunky. So you just run it through your fingers to crush it down a little bit. And we add just a bit of oil to bring it all together. And voila! That is a very simple salad that you can just, and if you want, you can actually even throw in some coconut for even a lovelier salad. So don't go away. When you come back, we'll put it together with the chicken and taste it. So don't go away. Stay tuned.
Anna's Food Show, your favorite food and lifestyle show. The assurance for your well-being.
Welcome back to the show. We've got our salad all put together, and I'm just going to garnish it with just a little bit more coconut. Today is really coconut day. And joining me on the set is a well-known artist and a friend to the show, Tiana Nabi. Tiana, welcome to have you.
Thank you so very much.
We're so glad to have you.
Aww. Thank you.
Welcome again. And she's a constant guest on the show, and we enjoy having her on the show.
Oh.
So are you ready to taste today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
we're about to unveil our chicken, but before we do that, salads go before your main course.
I was told that when I was in school.
So we're going to start with the salad, and I'm just going to dish up a little bit for you.
Okay.
I know you enjoy salads,
yes,
and you enjoy, because you are an artist, your voice has to stay in tune. You're in front of the crowds and publics all the time, so you have to eat healthy and, So you can go ahead. This is a very simple salad. Just have a fork. And while you're doing that, you can do it. Unfortunately, in the show today, we just have the salad, but you can always serve it with bread.
Okay.
Yes. So you just go ahead while you're enjoying that. I will dish up the chicken for you to try. Simple. Yeah, thank you. Very simple. All in one.
I love the aroma.
Thank you. Okay. So our chicken, mushroom, and coconut dish is ready. Now, if you notice, there's still some liquid in it. Now, when you have that kind of liquid, you can actually just take it in as it is, like a soup. If you're not well, like you have malaria, fever, whatever. It helps to heal your body because of the coconut as well as the mushroom. And chicken soup is always good for the soul. Chicken soup is always like a healing kind of soup. So we're just going to go ahead and put some in here. Just some for you to try. I've got oyster mushrooms. I've got healthy coconut.
Can we eat this with cassava?
The dish? You sure can. Because I have ripe plantains, boiled plantains on the side. And
along with rice too.
Along with rice. The problem with rice is that, it's sort of thin. So it's more like a pepper soup kind of dish. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. So I'll just put a couple pieces in here for you to appreciate. Oh. Okay. Let me just take that bowl. Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed the salad.
Perfect.
And I know you'll continue enjoying it after the show is done. Okay.
All right.
So you can either add your plantains into it.
All right, let me have a taste of this first.
Okay.
All right. Pepper?
No pepper. There's no pepper in it. However, there's bush pepper, which has a very pungent flavor. So there's no...
There's something about your food. It's always having just salt. And salt is food.
Yes. This one I have salt, bush pepper, and
just salt
without Maggi cubes. Okay, seasoning cubes. Yes. No, I try as much as possible avoid using seasoning cubes because the essence of the show is to be able to equip you to be able to cook perfectly.
I think I'm attracted to the mushroom and coconut.
Okay. So you love the combination?
It's perfect.
And is this something that you can try at home?
Yeah. Definitely.
And you're going to have me over?
For my kids.
For your kids? Yes, absolutely good for kids. Yes, absolutely good for kids.
So
yes.
wonderful. Thank you so very much. I'm loving it.
I'll be over. And I would expect you to make it for me so then I can enjoy it as well. Well, Tiana, you know you're always welcome on the show.
Thank you, darling.
And
I always love your invitations. Anytime I'm invited, I come without problems.
Without problems at all. And today you are sporting a Bamileke
I was
look.
thinking you're not going to figure that out.
But you're come, as a your come Bamileke look, and it's absolutely perfect. She's beautiful. She always looks great on the show. And wonderful voice to accompany her beauty. So excellent. Thanks for being on the show. Thank you for watching the show, and it was a pleasure bringing it to you today. So I hope you've been able to learn something new, how to make a very quick salad and a dish which is somewhat different than our normal standard chicken dishes. So enjoy it. Bon appetit. Stay tuned for